Hey, welcome back. So, it's actually New Year's Eve today that I'm recording. And I was trying to think of what to talk about. I didn't really have much to talk about today. I haven't done anything in like the past couple weeks, except I went home for Christmas, but I didn't have really anything to say about that. I was thinking about New Year's Eve, and I was feeling kind of bad today. I think, and I think like towards the end of the year, I always feel like, just thinking back on the past couple years, I always feel a little bit depressed. That's probably a common thing. I mean, part of it is, for me, is probably like, I never feel bad about like not going to parties or things because I don't really like parties. I mean, I've never really been to one, but I don't think I would like it if I went. But there are a couple days, like New Year's Eve, my birthday, maybe Halloween, 4th of July maybe, where I do, like, I'm on the day and I'm at home and I'm just feeling like kind of sad. Like, well, I kind of like watching TV, but I'm supposed to be celebrating today or something, and it feels bad. So I was feeling kind of bad today, probably for that reason. In past years, I think I felt worse because you kind of look back on the year. That's what you're supposed to do, right? And I just think like, oh, it's another bad year. But this year was probably the best year I've had. I mean, it's not a high bar to clear because my past years were all kind of not great. But this one was pretty good because I got the new job, and the new job's better, so. But yeah, I wasn't sure what to talk about today, and then I just looked online, and Betty White died. And I was thinking about my grandma, and a YouTube person, I think, died a couple days ago that I knew. Like, she was like a small person like me. She had like 1,000 subscribers or something. Her name was Zelly D, and she has a video up right now that says like my last video, and in the comments someone's like, oh, she died, and I couldn't find any information. And I'm like, oh my god, because she, like, I've commented on her thing before and she's talked to me. And then I just watched a video today, another ASMR person, her name is Calliope. She put up a video like yesterday, and she was like, I think I'm gonna die because like I had COVID and I can't walk anymore and nobody's helping me. And I was thinking about my grandma, so I'm like, let's talk about death today. I don't know how to handle death. I don't know if anybody does. Like, I remember when my dad got COVID, I was telling the therapist, like, what do I do? How do I prepare? Like, what if he dies? He could die in a couple weeks. Because this was back when there was no vaccine, or it was like early days. And sometimes people just died. Like, you get COVID, 2 weeks later you die. And my dad was like 60. So I'm like, if he dies in 2 weeks, I don't know if I'm capable of handling it. So like, what should I be doing? And she basically told me, well, just don't think about it right now, because he might not die, so don't. That was frustrating, and I wonder what my new therapist would say. On YouTube, there's this stupid WhatsApp commercial that I keep seeing today. I keep seeing it, yesterday, 2 days ago, and it keeps reminding me about New Year's Eve. It's like this girl's at this party, and she's looking at WhatsApp, and it's like, it's not New Year's until you get that message you're looking for or something. First of all, it's like a terrible, stupid commercial because the girl misses the new year. Like, everybody's cheering Happy New Year, and she's just on her phone. Like, WhatsApp, you're the worst. You stopped this girl from enjoying the party that she's at because she's waiting for a text message. That's like a commercial for anti-WhatsApp. That's like a PSA for stop texting people and enjoy your life. And but sometimes when I see like commercials and stuff like that, I'm just like, stupid parties. Why do I just feel so bad about myself seeing stuff like that? You're supposed to be enjoying your life, and you're not. So that girl, Calliope, in her video where she's like, I'm really sick, in her description she's like, yeah, it just happened so quick. 14 months ago I was riding my bike and I was watering my plants, and now I can't even do that, and I don't know how long I have left. And she's like 25 or something. And so part of it is always just like thinking about death is like, it makes me sad, because I'm like, I've wasted my time too. I haven't done anything with my time. Like, if I died tomorrow, I could. I was just eating McDonald's again. I eat garbage, and I'm like, garbage. I'm gonna have a heart attack tomorrow, probably. It could happen. And she actually, like, I just feel so bad for her, because she's talking about, like, I was like, I have a greenhouse and I loved watering my plants, and I can't do that anymore. And I feel bad for her, and then I feel bad about myself. Like, you're not taking advantage of your faculties in your life. Like, I can do anything I want. I have a little bit of money from my job, and like, what am I doing? I'm wasting it. I'm just sitting here complaining about everything. Oh, girlfriend, I don't want a girlfriend. I want a new job. I want an apartment. Why don't you, like, stop complaining and just go skiing or something? Well, I was gonna go ice skating, but I'm gonna go ice skating. I'm gonna text that girl tomorrow and say, like, you want to go ice skating? So there you go. There's my New Year's resolution or whatever. Just try to, I mean, that's what I've been trying to do, and that's what social anxiety can take away from you, is living a life. I mean, all the things that I used to do, I liked watching TV and playing games, but when you look back on your life and all it is just watching TV, it's just, watching TV is nice because you're experiencing other people's lives and they're doing cool stuff. But you didn't do anything, you just watched it and you experienced it. But when you look back on your life, you want to have done television-worthy things. You want to kill zombies. I'm watching The Walking Dead. I like the 4th season a lot. I think it's my favorite season. It's funny because it's the season where there's an infection or like a flu in the camp, and everybody's like getting sick, so it's interesting. I think that's my favorite season. Anyway, you want to do something that's worth TV. You want to kill a zombie. You want to have a kid or get married or whatever, because that's worth something. So, death. My grandma is 99 years old, and I just saw her last week for Christmas. She's been alive. She's been old since I've been born. She was 80 years old when I was born. So she's always kind of talked about, like, oh, I'm going to be dead soon, and stuff like that old people say. But I don't know. This last time that I saw her, there was something different. I don't know if I can even explain it about her that made me think, like, she's almost ready to go. And if my 99-year-old Nana dies, I mean, I don't know. At that point, it's, like, kind of okay, because unless it's, like, super sudden, like she just died tomorrow, that would be sad. I mean, it's going to be sad anyway. I don't know. It's kind of a bad example because I think I can handle that. It was just like, well, here's maybe the thing, which when I left and saw her, she started to, like, get choked up, and she held my hand and she's like, you're gonna call me, right? Like, your brothers are so far away, then they don't call me. Like, make sure you call me. And she was, like, getting choked up. So, well, can you guys, like, force me to call her? Because I don't really call them. The thing is, well, she's never told me that before. because I used to live in close to her, so I used to see her like 4 or 5 times a year. But now that I'm far away, I might only see her on Christmas. So I think she's thinking, this might be the last time I see you. I can't imagine what it's like to be that old. Part of me thinks like, you're so old, you don't even care. Like, you're ready. You're ready to go. Like, okay, just let me go. There's nothing else for me here. But then part of me is like, you look at, when I saw her for Christmas, she was looking at her great grandkids who are like 10 years old. And to imagine like the emotion that you would feel to have a kid, and then for that kid to have a kid, and then for that kid to have a kid, and to experience all that emotion every time she talks, almost she's like starts crying because it's just like too much. When she sees like our family, and I think she thinks it's almost time to go. I just get that feeling from her. And once the person is like 99 years old, like Betty White, and they feel like it's ready. I mean, she's been saying that for 20 years. Like, oh, I'm going to be dead. You got to buy me a coffin. But I feel like she actually knows, like, it, and once the person knows it, it like happens. They just shut down. But I don't know. She could live another 10 years. I'm going to try to call her next Sunday. It's really hard to call them, but I'm going to make my therapist force me to do it. I have to. She's so old and I never talk to her. I wasted my time with my other grandma. I never really talked to her. She died like 8 years ago or something, when I was in kind of the worst social anxiety stuff, so obviously I was never going to talk to her. But my Nana lived long enough where maybe I'm starting to come out of it, and maybe I can talk to her. I don't know anything about her life. She was born in Rome in 1920 or whatever. She moved to South America when she was a kid. Then she moved back to Rome. Then World War II happened, and she moved to America with. This is part of the story that I don't know. Like, how did she meet my grandpa? Was she a Nazi? I don't think so, because she was in Italy in World War II, and she has a story about like, oh, she got shot by Nazis. They didn't like the fascists or whatever. Everybody kind of turned against Mussolini, I think, in Italy. But whatever, that's a tangent. But that's what I want to know, like her life, and she would want to tell me, and I don't know how to talk to her about it. Just kind of a rambling episode about death. I don't know how to deal with it, and I don't know how to talk about it, and I've never had to deal with it. My grandma died 8 years ago, but like I never talked to her, so I wasn't super close with her, so it was kind of okay. She was like 85 years old, and so, well, that's what happens. I've experienced the weirdness of it, just like, oh, she's not there anymore, and I'll never talk to her again. But, well, I wasn't really talking to her before anyway, so. Yeah, maybe next week will be the beginning of the year, and we'll be very hopeful. We'll talk about life, but today we talk about death. What to do with the time we have. I don't know, just feeling kind of depressed today. Just like, it's all shit. I'm cursing. I don't know. That's okay. I've talked a lot about cursing, but life is like a box of chocolates, but you're a dog, and no matter what you get, it's probably poisonous. But that's just because I'm not living my life like that girl. She was so happy watering her plants in her greenhouse. And I remember watching some of her ASMR videos, and she would talk about like all the different plants that she was watering, and oh, I really like these plants, and and she can't do that anymore. Is it Is that what I'm afraid of? It's just like, oh, I'll start liking something and then it'll get taken away from me. It's kind of cliche. And so then, like, that's why I don't initiate anything, because I don't want to be let down. I'm initiating this dating stuff, and it's not going great. So I hope if anybody's watching, they had a good year, and next year will be better, probably. I wish you good luck. Yeah, I don't know. I don't often give like a prompt for stuff to say, but like if you want to talk about your year, you had a bad year, you had a good year, let me know. Like, this is always a place where you could say whatever you want. I mean, you know that though. I always get such amazing comments and people, they just write like, Vault is MVP always. I don't know, I shouldn't single people out because everybody's great. But I mean, there's only like 5 people anyway, but just like paragraphs, blocks of stuff, like so thoughtful and engaging. Gives me something to do. I mean, it did, I've mentioned this once or twice before, but like having this thing where like people, it seems genuine, like friends. And I mean, once or twice before we said like, oh, you're my friend and I'm your friend, the people who comment. Because never had a friend, and you don't know how important it is to have somebody who chooses to like you. Because I have my parents and I have my nana, but they're family, they love me, but they don't know me. They don't really know me because I never really share myself with them. So, do they like me? Do they like my personality? Or do they just love me because I'm their son? And so kind of like when I'm depressed, I get these thoughts like, well, I suck. Nobody should ever care about me. Who's this guy? He sucks. He's a nothing person. And then I think about the friends I've made on here, and I think, well, they say they like me, so that helps. It helps. It's more than nothing, so thanks if you're one of those people. This is something, I don't know. These videos are my flowers and my plants, I guess. Because I do like doing this. So this is my greenhouse. And for now, and maybe I'll find another kind of greenhouse later, and then maybe tomorrow I'll die. I hope it's quick. That's what I was thinking about that girl. Just 14 months of just, she's like slowly decaying. It's awful. Anyway. Yeah. I'll always try to just be like genuine of how I'm feeling, and it's something about the end of the year, I always feel depressed. And maybe that's why everybody else goes to parties, because they're kind of depressed too, and they're like, well, let's go drink and watch a ball fall down, and that'll make our lives feel like, well, we did something this year. We went to a party. So what's your resolution? What are you going to try to do next year? I said in another video, like, I was going to try to do an improv class. So you can hold me to that and be like, hey, did you do your improv class? I think I should try to do that. I had that idea a while ago, like, to help me with communication, and the whole thing about improv is to like not think and just talk and just say whatever, and to connect with the people there, and yes, and it's good for conversational training and stuff, I think. I feel some forward momentum for the first time in a long time, and I should take a moment to appreciate that. Like, you're not dead, so keep keep trying to push that stone up that hill. But I'm grateful for this and the people who watch. And I'm going to keep doing it. And I'll see you next year. Ooh, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you next year. Ooh. Okay. Really, I hope everybody's okay. Because I know, especially for people like me, this time of year can be kind of tough. So if you just want to cry in my comments, like I'm getting a little teary-eyed, go ahead. Whatever you want to do. And see you tomorrow. Bye. Let's talk about death, baby. Okay, that's not appropriate. Cut that out.